Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Tonight, we are witnessing history, the largest war in Europe since the end of World War II. And this is the nightmare scenario that the world feared. The full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine is well underway tonight. Vladimir Putin unleashed a tidal wave of violence across Ukraine, firing 160 short-range and medium-range missiles. That's according to a senior defense official. And at least 137 Ukrainians have been killed and hundreds wounded. But those numbers are expected to surge in the hours ahead. Fierce fighting is happening along several front lines as Russian forces move into Ukraine from three sides and are advancing on the capital of Kyiv. These new images show the first pictures of damage inside Ukraine. Military installations and airports have been targeted, but so have civilian apartment buildings and hospitals. Roadways are jammed as civilians attempt to flee large cities, while subway stations have turned into bomb shelters. President Biden announcing today a new round of punishing sanctions and the deployment of 7,000 additional troops to Europe. We have a team of reporters covering this story, beginning with CBS's Charlie D'Agata in Kyiv. Good evening, Charlie.
Good evening to you, Nora. It has been a tough day for Ukrainian forces. They've been fighting Russian troops on multiple fronts, and now we're getting late word tonight that those Russian forces are advancing on the capital itself on day one of this invasion. Air raid sirens and explosions shattered the peace today. In a conflict that will send shockwaves far beyond the battlefields of Ukraine in the biggest attack on a European country in nearly 80 years. This is what Vladimir Putin's operation to demilitarize the country looks like after declaring war in a pre-dawn announcement. Tonight, we're told a major battle is underway at the Gostomel airfield on the outskirts of the capital itself, where Russian paratroopers swooped in today. The president of Ukraine confirming paratroopers had landed, saying Russian airborne troops are surrounded. But one battle they lost was for the former Chernobyl nuclear power plant around 60 miles from the capital, now fully in the hands of the Russians. The clashes followed a campaign of aerial bombardment across the country. Russia says its forces hit more than 70 military targets across Ukraine. But then you find something like this: shattered glass everywhere, this destroyed billboard. Apparently, not everything hit its target. Nonetheless, as President Putin boasted in his declaration of war this morning, Ukraine and NATO allies are only too aware that Russia is one of the strongest nuclear powers in the world, an ominous threat. The first bombardment triggered a mass exodus from the capital today. If it happens again tonight, those who remained in the city might be the next ones to flee. Now, the Ukrainian government has declared martial law with a curfew in place here from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., and they're expecting another round of airstrikes to happen here in the early hours. President Zelensky has gone on television moments ago. He said, "We're fighting this war alone." He's now barring men from 18 to 60 from leaving the country. Nora?
Calling up all the forces. Charlie D'Agata, thank you.